Hey everybody, welcome back for Prescription Bourbon. I'm DMC from Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm doing a quick hit review of Remus Repeal Reserve Batch 6. Alright, so Batch 6 is the 2022 annual release of Remus Repeal Reserve from MGP out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. They started releasing these back in 2017, so this is the 6th year they've done these. They come out in the fall in honor of Repeal Day, which is the first week of December 5th. George Remus was a famous bootlegger in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is right there near Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So I've got this cool Art Deco bottle as throwback to the 20s or the Prohibition era. They've had this same bottle. This is batch 6. I've got batch 5. I've got batch 4. Last year I did a tasting between batch 3, 4, and 5. And 4 was my favorite of what I've had so far. So I liked it better than last year's batch 5. So we'll find out today how I like batch 6. I'm not going to be comparing them. I'm just going to be tasting batch 6 today. But it has changed over the 6 years. The first batch, the first release in 2017 was only 91 proof, 91, 92 proof. But ever since then, the last 5 batches have all been 100 proof. So that's been consistent. And they're all blends of MGP's bourbon. So they got the 2 different mash bills, the high rye mash bill and the higher rye mash bill. And one of them is 30-something% rye, one of them is 40-something% rye. And those blends, the ages are all different too. So 2 years ago, batch 4 was all 12-year-old bourbon from MGP, and all 12-year-old, but the 2 different blends blended together. Last year's batch 5, the youngest was 13-year-old bourbon in it. It did have some older, but the majority of it was 13-year-old bourbon. So this year, they've taken a step back, and the youngest in this is 8-year-old. So, in fact, 52% of it is a blend of their different mash bill, 8-year-old mash bills. So, definitely a little younger this year. Same proof, and we'll find out how it tastes. Another interesting thing, this past year, they rebranded the distillery there as Ross Squibb Distillery, and this bottle actually does say distilled by Ross Squibb Distillery, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So that's the first bottle I've seen that said that. The previous year's bottles actually say distilled by George Remus Distilling Company. So even though it was MGP, Midwest Grain Products of Indiana, they had the brand name on there, the George Remus Distillery. So, all right, so let's go in here and taste this 2022 batch 6 of Remus Repeal Reserve. Nice nose. I actually get some fruit on it. I get like some cherry on the nose. Also get some caramel there. And some oak. I know the previous year's batches, the oak was definitely present and was very enjoyable. So definitely a nice nose on this year's. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Sweet and spicy on the first pass. The second sip. Oh yeah, that's a delicious sip. It does have some sugary sweetness on the front of the tongue. It's got some cinnamon spice on the top of the tongue that comes pretty quickly. Good warmth going down. Nice hug on that, even though it is only 100 proof. The sweetness stays as I continue to sip it. And I do get some cherry coming forward. So I know I smelled a little bit of fruit, a little bit of cherry on the nose. I think that does come through on the taste. Didn't hit me right at first on the taste, but I think the warmth settles down, the spice settles down and I think that cherry fruitiness comes forward. Yeah, this is a delicious pour. I definitely, from what I remember, I definitely like this better than last year's. I'll have to compare it to some other stuff, but it's a delicious bottle. Right on my flavor profile. I love that cherry on there. I love the amount of spice. I love the oak. I think they've got a winner this year, even though it is only 8-year-old. It does have some older stuff. In fact, it has some 14-year in it, so just a touch. So definitely, it's well blended. Has a great nose, great taste. I'm super happy with this pickup, even though the one caveat to that is the price did go up this year. So that, if anything, makes me a little unhappy. The last 2 years, the bottles were like $80, give or take a little bit. This year, it went up to at least $100. I know mine cost me a hair more than $100. So that's sad that it went up that much in price. So, but the amount of fruit on it is something I really enjoy. If that's something that you like in your flavor profile, you might want to try to find this. These, like I say, these do come out in September, October, November. But they haven't hit the market in all areas. I mean, I didn't pick this up till November here in the Louisville area. I'm sure there's some markets where they haven't even hit yet. So be on the lookout for it. It won't stay on the shelves long. It always goes fast. Even though it did go up in price. It's definitely worth a look out. Or if you see it in the bar, get a pour of it. So, all right. I hope you liked what you saw here. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It really does help. Appreciate that. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this year's Remus or any of the previous ones. If you got the cherry on it or not, or if you got some other flavor profiles, I'd love to hear from you. Remember, everybody, all bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not bourbon. The best bourbon comes from Kentucky. But Indiana does make some good stuff. Cheers.